Hey guys, and welcome to our tips and trips video about improving in zero build Fortnite as a duo team. For this video, we're going to be going over kind of our strategies as duos, what we like to do and aim for, and how we work together. I don't know why my guy's singing on the way down. That's not what actually happened, but we are aiming for this little building right down here that goes down below the ground and gives us, there's a lot of loot. There's just a lot of good things you can get here. This is our go-to. As you can see, other people are going down there as well. But
yeah, there are four entrances, so this is one of our favorite entrances. It's nice and quick.
It's the fastest one.
Down. Yeah.
You can see here, just switching over to Oliver's point of view, he's ahead of me, and he is going to get down here long before these other guys to the right.
I like to, as I go down, I like to pick up every single gun and make sure there's nothing for anybody else.
I'm going to switch back over to mine. Let me rewind this real quick so I can show. As Oliver's coming down, he's in front of me, and I know he's going to be going for the weapons. So my primary goal here is to get a weapon and to be able to back him up. I picked this weapon up when I landed, so I'm aiming right at the door, which is where I heard this guy pop out of the sewer. Switch back over.
Yeah, this is a big part. All these guns is a big part of why we like this spot. Is there's a lot of pretty decent blue level weapons down here, and then you can get shield from this guy. There's just a lot of loot.
You can get up to legendary as well from it. So you can see here, the guy went up and he came back down the far side. I'm going to go to the drone real quick so you guys can take a look at what's happening. So it's the same guy, and what he did is he went back up and came down this way. And you can see from his point of view, he's already tagged the bot that lives down here a little bit because he can't tell the difference between us. He's going back up again. We'll go back over to.
So what I'm doing right here is I'm standing around the corner where I can see if he comes back down, because I'm using the third person perspective. He can't tell. He can't see me if he comes down, but I can totally see him if he does. It's really handy.
And while that's going on, I am. Whoa. Need to go back to gameplay video. I got my weapons. I've looted up. Now I'm getting my weapons in the order that I prefer to have them in. I always like to have them in the same location. That way I know what I'm doing, and I'm just making sure that I have angles on the different doors. Moving towards just looting. There's a ton of loot here. Honestly, easily for duos. Trios is fine too. It's a little sparse on quads, but plenty of loot.
And there are various tunnels either direction that have more loot, so we usually like to go and loot every direction. In this sense, we usually go this way, but especially because we know the other guys might be coming from the other direction, so we just want to kind of move out of the area rather than be concerned about getting ambushed.
You can see we're splitting up. We've done this quite a few times, so as necessary.
No idea what I'm doing here.
I think you walked away. Yeah, you had to step away for a moment.
I had to go step away for a moment here.
Yeah.
This is not the first time this happens in this match.
Or the last time this happens in the match.
This is not the last time this happens. This is the first time.
Which, a big thing with that, it's not a big deal if you do have to step away. It's very easy. Put yourself in a good position where your teammate can cover you. And, you know, it's definitely not the end of the world, as you guys will see. So I come out here. This is the end of this one tunnel as far as we normally loot. And this guy happens to be running by. It's an easy kill. Oliver's already there, covering my back. I'm looting up. And about here, you guys can't see it, but I heard I had the visual cue for the footsteps and heard them up on the roof, so I know somebody is nearby. Likely that guy's teammate, and there he is.
You can see him on the mini map, yeah.
We'll switch over to Oliver's view. You can see he has a much better view of him. Just a couple beautiful sniper shots, and it's over. So Oliver could barely see it there, but if we switch over, because Oliver could barely see it, as I'm coming up on his left, I can easily see those guys jumping on, so I'm able to warn him that there's guys there.
So yeah, we down the one right there immediately, and I basically, because the guy's got a shield, I just run and jump over him and try to get behind him, and it works pretty well.
Yeah, and I'm keeping his attention by keeping fire on him, and as soon as he turns around to try to deal with Oliver, I'm shooting into his back, even though Oliver's shooting into his front. Really effective way to do this, and that's part of just getting into a routine. With duos, it's a big thing that we found is we're able to predict what the other person is going to be doing, right? So we don't have to question, what's going on.
Yeah, you just kind of get used to it as you play together.
Ooh, that's lovely blurry. There we go. For some reason in this view, if you look too far away, it gets all blurry. But we aren't obviously going to push the people behind us. The zone's already coming in. Yeah. They're having to deal with that. That's fine for us. We're going to stick on the train and ride it for a little bit.
Using my visual cue, I heard them, so I look at them. But
taking the opportunity
right here,
to
we hear a ton of shots, and this is a great spot because we're moving. They're not going to stop us. Like, we're not going to necessarily get in this fight. We're just firing away. And right here, you see, an awesome shot by Patrick on that that guy. I don't know. I'll go back.
This is it right here. You can see there's just tons of gunfire going on. We're taking our shots.
We just decided to throw some shots their direction just to help out.
And here, on this one, right, I don't have a scope. I know I don't have a scope. I know I'm moving. I know I'm turning on a train. So I just line my reticle up to where this guy's likely to be, and I let the train pull me into it instead of trying to aim into it.
Oh, nice shot.
And it's effective.
My point of view, I just saw that guy explode as I tried to fire at him.
It's real quick here.
This is where we talk to each other really fast. Decide, do we want to get out of here? There's nobody close. Everybody's down the hill, and we decide, yeah, let's go see if we can get in on this. And most everybody's already dead, so.
And when we were looking at the guys down here, right, our decision at that point was kind of, let's just stay on. We're heading to zone anyways. But when we down this guy, for us, that's when this momentum changes. Okay, he's close. We can get loot. We've actually downed a significant number of them at this point. And they're obviously still fighting each other. So at that point, we decide to go off. Now, interestingly enough, we didn't see this guy behind us over here. We're both just focusing on his buddy up the hill. But again, we just know that we downed this guy, so that's half of a duo down. We're both at full shields. We're both at full health. So constant communication and reevaluation.
Yeah, and basically, we talk it through for a second. You kind of see us hesitate there for a second. I get launched the wrong way because of the train, but I get back in. But yeah, it was a good time to push because we knew at least two people of two teams were down, and we had the advantage.
So at this point, I think that guy's actually shooting at us, and we're not even paying attention.
I don't remember seeing him shoot. I think I saw shots go by us, but I didn't know if we actually attacked him. Yeah, you see that shot?
Yeah, shots coming all the way from the back there.
Yeah.
So he's shooting in our general direction.
We hit the wall, the hill there.
But just to look around, so we're over here, right? And we have a great view of what's going on here. These are two different teams fighting each other. Ugh. I'm gonna go back to gameplay footage, and you can just see here. It's just they're fighting each other. They're busy. We're shooting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's really one of the biggest keys in this game, in this particular type of matchup, is just as much as possible, you want a third party. You don't want to be engaging.
When you kill that guy, that's the one who came from behind. He pushed up at us.
That was the guy from behind, yeah. You can see on the mini-map right here, he's starting to push up as we're firing at the guy who's running away. And then I see shots flying past me, or towards you, and that's when I take him out. Unfortunately for that guy, he didn't even realize where I was.
Yeah. In a message.
Yep.
You're good.
So right here, you know, I'm already pushing across. We've been talking about this. We're saying, hey, what do we do here? We know we just eliminated a guy. We know zone's coming in. There's one guy who's damaged up here. His teammate's gone. So we decide to push across. So I'm already pushing, knowing that Oliver has cover fire on me if necessary. He's right behind me.
Yeah, and that we knew that after firing at that guy, you could kind of tell that he's gone. There's no way he's coming back. We still keep an eye out for him, but he got everything he needed. He was getting fired at. So we were happy pushing to loot those weapons.
And here, you know, we're being cautious. We're not super pushing. We're trying to make sure we keep high ground when possible, and we're trying to make sure that we're, you know, in front of the zone at least a little bit, right? We don't want to get caught in it, but we don't want to just go guns blazing into the middle of nowhere without knowing what's going on. So at this point, right, I watched one vehicle just drive off down there and a second one drive off after, so I know that most of the area is cleared out. We already watched the guy drive off in the vehicle over here. So
yeah, and at this point also, this is where we decide. So one of the things that we really like in this is the to get the radar tower, and this is where we notice there's one still in zone, and so we grab that car to make a beeline for it, and that's where, like, I had marked the bridge over here, and so it doesn't show on this map, but there's a radar that we're going towards. So as soon as we got done in that little base area, we decided, okay, let's hop in the car and let's get to that radar, because it tells you what the next zone is.
It's right up in this spot, like right there. Yeah, it's not showing up. That's frustrating. Good driving as always, Oliver.
Thank you.
Right here, like, I see these guys up here on the left, but we don't care. That's not our objective right now. And sticking on objective is really key. Not getting distracted by a bunch of stuff. And we know that that radar is so big when it comes to the last, you know, bits of the game.
Yeah,
here,
so...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
So here we're shooting. We actually... There's the other teammate right there, but we're shooting more for covering fire than anything else. We're not stopping. We're not really engaging. We're just keeping them from messing up the car as we make our getaway. So you can see we get up here, and we're just trying to be efficient with it. Oliver's pulling guard while I go in and I trigger the guys. He's making sure no one behind us. At this point, he's reporting back to me, hey, I see them. They're all the way down there. He can just have a little glimpse on them. I think if we go to your view.
Yeah, just looking over with my rifle. This is a good that thing there, that little like interaction there, and then coming up towards the end here is a good representation of how we handle. Is that we don't necessarily take every fight. We kind of take what will get us closer to the victory. So we see him down there on the left there. It's just a little different where. For us, it's more about making sure we can get the win rather than going towards every shot.
And that's our gameplay style. We'd rather get the win than, you know, have the highest number of kills. There are games that we have 1 or 2 kills and we've won the match because we didn't run into a lot of people and we didn't go, you know, guns blazing into every time that we hear something happening. So, like, you can see this guy's coming up here right now. I'm engaging them. Oliver comes in to help.
Yeah.
And these guys open fire on us way too early. Ugh,
I think I had gone. I think because I didn't even know they were coming.
Yeah, I'm already pushing down to get the key card right here.
Oh, I get hit in the back, and I think they take out my shields, and then I just go hide in that bush. Yeah, I would watch me from right here. I get hit and start running around and just hide in the bush. And they just kind of sprint up at me, and somehow I'm able to get. I think you get the second one. Yeah. Oh no, I do get both of them.
You got both of them on it.
They did just push really hard, which I mean, it's 2v1. That's probably the right call, but I had a mythical and I got kind of lucky on those shots. I'll be honest.
Well, and taking advantage of the bush, right?
I used the bush where I could kind of know where they're at.
If we go back here,
I didn't get hit that hard at all. I thought I did take my shields out.
But like they're pushing up here on us, but they're shooting without even good shots. These guys might be bots for all we know.
Yeah.
But like you can even see here, right? Like gameplay footage.
Yeah, he's
he's blind firing into their stuff.
Now, can you take it a couple seconds back and watch from my point of view, because I can see them. They just see a bush. I can see them clear as day.
They're coming up here, firing into nothing.
Yeah, go to my point of view right now.
So yeah, so you can barely see him right there in the bush, but all they're really seeing is bush. That's all he sees. Oliver, he can just see them clear as day.
See them, yeah.
And then
like right now I can't, but as soon as I take
over to mine, I know he's communicating with me, so I know he's being shot at. And then I'm coming around here and opening fire on the side too.
Yeah, that bush was really handy there.
Yeah.
They had no idea, and I could see them fine.
So, like, that's a great example of we could have been in a lot of trouble, except they started firing early. They started firing when they were out of range of the weapons that they were trying to use, and they just were not playing it smart. They could have gotten close. They could have engaged once they really had that 2-on-1 advantage instead of, 2 versus bush. So.
Yeah.
And we'll go back here, grab that guy up here. And now comes the boring part, because at this point, I am about to have to run off a couple of times. And
can you put it on my point of view?
Yeah.
Can you do third person or
your point of view?
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, I ran off because I had to do something else for a minute. So I'm in the bush because Oliver scolded me for being too far out of the bush. And I'll let you run this, man, because I don't know what happened.
Right now, I'm just using the visual cues that I use, and then also watching. You can see over on the right there's people running down, and so I'm just looking and kind of getting a landscape of what's going on, because the zones are getting small. Probably getting to the people who are a little bit better at the game, so you want to make sure maybe not just attack everybody. So just kind of keeping an eye on where everybody's at. So you see this guy coming down. I know where he's going. I'm not going to shoot at him. I mean, I could. If it was both of us, we probably would. But I just let him go for now, just noting where he is. And then you can see at the top of the mini-map, there's those other two guys. I had no idea they were there specifically. We had fired at them earlier, but they had medallions. And so I could see on the map that there was somebody pretty close, and that was the most logical place they would be. So what happened there is my visual cue showed me that somebody was rezzing, so I stood up just to see if I could see him, and he had smartly gone behind the van, so I didn't really get a chance to shoot at him. But again, I do see the guy parachuting in, but I decided, we'll just sit here. I only have one person, so we're just gonna hang out, let people kind of take each other out, and just get an idea of how we should approach the zone. So you can see Patrick comes back for a minute, but I think he goes pretty quickly.
Yeah, I end up having to run off again real quick.
And so not doing much here, just kind of watching, listening for people, seeing where they go, and getting an idea of how we should head to the zone. And as you'll see, we end up going in pretty slowly.
And I mean, realistically, this is one thing I'd like to point out, because we both have reasons that we have to run off semi-regularly in matches. And I honestly believe sometimes that's the best thing that happens to us, because zone pushes in, people move past us. Suddenly, instead of being in the middle of two parties that are engaging, we're the third party coming in to clean up the mess. So there's definitely something to be said about it's okay to take it a little slower, to hold back and, you know, just see what other people are going to do. You don't want to never push. You'll see later we really do get aggressive at the end. But it's okay to hold back. And I feel like, you know, Fortnite's one of those games where it can be really easy not to hold back and to constantly push. So don't be afraid to, you know, hang out in a bush, hang out in a building for a little bit, you know, give people time to kind of rotate around you, especially if, like this, with Oliver seeing multiple teams literally circling that he's in the middle of. If he engaged one of them, other ones would come in third party. It's best to let them third party, you know, engage each other and then third party from there, especially if, you know, you don't have your teammate available or, you know, you just don't want to get pinched.
And I think a big thing that happens, so you can see him still watching him. You can, I think right here I almost took a shot and I decided, nah, let's hold off. One of the things that also, like, when we have to step away for whatever reason, so this, we got lucky here. I take off and Patrick walks up as the zone hits us, so we again kind of are able to take it slow, so we kind of take this high ground and make sure we have a barrier between us and anybody who we think might be around.
Real quick, I just want to point this out here. So I didn't have any meds on me. I came back just inside the storm, but I had seen some. So, like, don't be afraid to take that minute here, right? And, like, you can see me run over and grab that health pack and see if there's any more laying around before I head out of zone. Because, yeah, it's hurting me, but at the same time, I can get up to where Oliver is pretty quickly and easily.
You got a grapple hook, yeah.
And then, yeah, I have mobility. And then I'm able to, you know, heal up. So there's no impact to it, but it gives me that leeway.
I think I gave you one, too, as you came in. I didn't actually know you went back for one like that. That's funny. But yeah, having mobility, it gives you the opportunity to do that. You can sit in the zone and kind of play it a little safer. So this is, we're sitting in this bush, and you can see where the next zone is. And we know there's people on both sides of us. We know there's people in the middle of the town. And we're just kind of talking through what we want to do. I mean, we could attack the guys on our right, but we're in a pretty good spot, and just kind of we're gonna let people kind of take each other out. You can see how many people are so close to each other.
And this might be a good time to point out, you can't see it on the mini map. Ironically, you can see so many things, but what you can't see is we did get that tower. We do have vision for where the next zone's gonna be, and we can see that it's gonna be right up here, kind of in the area of where these, you know, the yellow and white teams are right here. So we know that we need to go that way. We know there's people to our right. There's people in, you know, by Grand Station, and there's people over there. So we know where we need to go, and we're not in a hurry to do it. Because we're not terribly far away from the next zone, but we do need to be wary of what it is. I actually think it's all the way up here. If I remember.
It is. It's right above. If we would have run, knowing where the next zone is, it actually would have hurt us. If we were to run to the next zone, way to the north of the, near like where it says ways, we would be so close to everybody. So this is why we sit back.
If we pushed up right now, these guys would have come in on our side. We probably would have started taking fire from some of the guys up here, and we definitely would have been taking fire. Even though they're fighting to our left, there's going to be one group that wins, and we would have been taking fire from all three sides.
Yeah, so we just sit and we just kind of watch and listen to where people are at. Get a visual image of what the battlefield is doing, and you can see a lot of people start going down. And I think it really happens fast, pretty soon.
Here, let me show it from your point of your point of view right here. I think this gives a really good. We have visuals on most of these teams right now, so we're really able to be aware of what's going on. This bush is awesome.
Yeah, right here we're watching and we're talking because we know there's a ton of people fighting over there. So we actually we're kind of discussing when do we want to get involved, and you'll see all of a sudden we decide, okay, we're like watching, we're like, we could have fired at him, but let's let them kind of take each other out. And in a second, we just start letting loose, and we realize, like, I think it is a tree. Start firing at him. I think he might have won that battle. So then we decided, okay.
Right there's when we decide to go for it, because there's all those medallions on the ground.
Yeah.
And I believe at that point we knew that there was only the one dude left on that team.
Yeah, we can see. You can see the top left. We could see it was 5 people and 4 teams. So that guy was alone. Oh.
I see.
Oh right. Okay.
Shooting through that tree is also one of our favorite parts of this game.
Yeah. We go down here, all of these.
And we know that there's a whole team left, but like this is a great opportunity for us to, load up, get a couple medallions on for shield recharge if we need it. I grabbed the crown.
At this point, there's only one other person, so that's also another reason why we're okay with it.
Oh
but
yeah.
You can see somebody just got rebooted here. So we see that guy go in there. We know we know where both people are.
Real quick.
So you see Patrick up in the bush there.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up because as Oliver comes up here again, this is something that me and Oliver have gotten a lot better at over the years. Is I know where he's going to get a look, so I'm taking up a spot where I can support him with covering fire, but I also can take my own angles and do this. So like here, I'm finishing up. I see the reboot. He's above me to my right. See the person going to the right, so I'm gonna go into this bush here and pull covering fire because I know Oliver's just to my right doing the same thing.
Oh, how funny! Yeah, you didn't even see him. I think I had to tell you. From your point of view, you didn't see him go in there. I watched him go in there from my point of view.
Yeah, I could just barely see him inside though, and
just you lit him up a lot more than I did when he's in there.
Well, I knew this guy was the one that had the most weapons. The other guy just didn't have much. So there was, let me do drone.
So yeah, go from behind us, the drone. So
Behind
we're in those
us?
two bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, from behind us. So we're in that bush right there, and then the one to the right. Yeah, I'm not in it quite yet, but
right there and right here.
Pretty soon, that one guy is going to go behind the white building, and then the other guy is going to go behind there. And that's kind of how we win this in a second is. We try to kill them beforehand, but they both get back.
There he
to that
goes.
Spot.
He runs away. See if I can go drone free here for a second. So we'll come over here now, and you can see they've rotated around. They're both over here.
Yeah, so we're sitting there both in those two bushes waiting for them, basically.
Yeah. So Oliver's covering this direction in case they double back, and I'm focusing. Well, I actually do look over there where he is. I was only aware that one dude was over here. I didn't realize both of them were over here quite yet.
I saw both of them. So then I think just let it play from here. So we're nowhere there. As soon as that zone comes in, from my point of view, I can see there's no way they're going to our right. They're going to go to this side. So go for it. Go. So you can see I've rotated around. I don't want to watch. Can we go back? Like that, yeah. So as soon as that zone comes in, I know that they can't come my way. So you see me rotating around. Patrick's in a great spot. I just get to next to him because I know the direction they have. So as soon as we knock one guy, this game, we better win this game. So we see him running around the edge of the circle. So we just make a beeline, straight to the center of the circle, because he has to go way around the edge, and we can just run straight and have the high ground and be there faster.
Yeah, he has this valley he has to run into, because if he pushes up, he's pushing right into both of us that are coming at him, and we have a better angle at him. There's nothing he can do here, so he's going down as we come up. And then I think this is a really important moment to look at our point of view, right? So Oliver's coming around, he sees him right here, right? If we come to me, I'm already zoning in on him right here. But watch this. This is why high ground can really save you sometimes, and why it matters. We're gonna go to his point of view. He can't see anything.
He has no idea.
He has no idea where we are until we're already lighting him up, and he is dead. Didn't stand a chance. And you can just see from here, we have great shots, and we're just lighting into him. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, so a lot of that is, a lot of that's luck. A lot of that's being in the right location for the right time, but it's also taking advantage of that. And I feel like that was
And,
what we did on this one is went
and
slow.
communicate, communicate,
Yeah,
communicate,
yeah.
communicate.
You can't hear it, but we're talking the whole time through. Anytime there's a slight pause, we're talking about, hey, do we want to go this way? Do we want to fire at these guys? It happens a lot.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully, some of this helps you guys, gives you some idea of just a solid strategy. We don't win every round, but we're usually top 3 most matches.
yeah, pretty close.
So, I mean, these will definitely get you a good way if you're really struggling to, especially mid game, to figure out, how do I get a little bit higher up? How do I really break past these engagements? Hopefully, you find it helpful.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.